It's Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
Well, thank you all for coming out and risking your lives. There's still people going, you're not really going out in public indoors, are you? The Delta, the Omega, the Charlie Brown.
Stay inside. This is never ending.
Poor old people would just stay in the basement. How long am I supposed to stay there?
Survival with Laughter Tour. Jim Breuer tonight at the Fremont. He's on the phone with us now. Hey, good morning, Jim. Welcome to town.
It's good to be in town. That was from Somebody Had to Say It. Now we got a whole different special on YouTube called Country Boy Will Survive. And if everyone saw that, I'm not doing the same material. This is a new hour tonight.
That's good to know. That's good to know. I know you got so much content out there. I mean, with the podcast, you make your stuff so readily available. And of course, I know people can subscribe on Patreon as well. How was Monterey last night?
It was really good. There was I can't believe I've never been here. Shame on me. You know, in the past, I always stick you in the go to L.A. and San Francisco and San Diego. On this one, I'm getting really awesome coast places and beachy towns, and everyone's having a good time, especially when I talk about your governor for the first time. I've never seen a guy elected so much who's so unpopular amongst the people.
Yeah,
quite interesting,
and it's amazing. Yeah. What blows my mind about it, and I think you and I and Jeremy as well, we pretty much align politically based on what I know about your content. Yeah, from a common sense standpoint. And it's like, man, everybody hates this guy. And then there was not only the general election, but a recall election. And then 2 minutes after the polls closed, they're like, we've declared him a winner. And we're like, what the hell? How? Everybody I know hates this guy.
Right. Well, then there's the part where the entire Sleeping Sheep Society is in serious trouble, because when they're willing to do, it's like coming over your house and there's a squatter and you go, you wanted me here. No, I didn't. I did not. How do we get rid of him? Well, by certain laws, I guess we gotta let him sit in the basement. Get rid of him! Don't
The sad thing about it is, Jim, that kind of crap goes on too. You know,
I know. Although you definitely solved the homeless problem. All we gotta send, hey, Gavin, can you call up the leader of China? We got some other cities to clear up. If you can do that for me. Oh my God!
Well, the nice thing is, being on this tour through the Central Coast, and I know you're going to go to Bakersfield, which is unfortunately not going to be the best part of your tour, but at least you're getting to see some of the best parts of California.
Yeah, everyone says Bakersfield, like, no, it's,
So what do you do? Like, I have a question. I mean, like, last night you were in Monterey, and then tonight you're in San Luis Obispo. And the weird dynamic about where we live is it is a mixed bag. I mean, it's like, I live up in Paso Robles, which is only 30 minutes to the north of San Luis Obispo, and it tends to lean a little bit more common sense. And then you come into a grocery store in San Luis Obispo, and it's KN95 City. What do you do if somebody shows up to the show tonight and like they're in a mask inside and like what is your
if they don't know what they're walking into by now? First of all, if you're wearing a mask, you're already traumatized. You're a victim. I call it a casualty of war. You are a casualty of psychological war. If you're still going, there's a new variant, and I've had 3.5 shots, but now they say none of them are going to work, so I have to get 2 more. Oh, I hope they develop this quickly. If you're going to be traumatized the first 10 minutes of my show. Traumatized. It's like showing up at therapy and the therapist going, yeah, no, you got issues. No, I don't. No, you guys, I don't even know how to help you at this point. I mean, there's enough information out there, but I treat them as someone emotionally traumatized. That's all.
My favorite is the people in the car by themselves.
Yes,
I mean, they're literally driving in a car by themselves, and they're all masked up.
I haven't seen any of that. I have seen more masks in California than.
Oh yeah.
I think New York is pretty close too. New York tries to pretend like they're all bad and tough. Their knees are weak. New York ain't got squat, and I'll say that loud and clear. You can say whatever you want. You're not allowed in the restaurant unless. Yeah, you want to go see the
show us? Well, there was that nonsense of like during the height of whatever it was that was. They were like, you got to show a card to prove that you've gotten the medicine that you don't need.
You have to show your card to prove you are healthy, even though you can still get sick. It does not matter. You follow orders. It's for your safety. It's crazy. But anyway, I don't really smash that subject.
Right.
I put it all aside and somebody had to say it. And then the new one, like I said, Country Boy Will Survive. It's free. It's on YouTube. Completely different. Still coming with the same attitude in the first 15, 20 minutes. And then the newer show is now. So
30 plus years ago.
I don't want everyone to go. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead and finish your thought.
No, I was gonna say I don't want everyone to think like, oh my God, you were talking about this whole time.
No,
it's actually not. I mostly talk about my family and my little stoner daughter,
which should be fun.
Yeah. Hey, God bless America. How much for this university? $300,000, and they gotta teach me to hate everything. Oh, okay. Great. I got 2 potheads and 1 left the country. That was worth $500,000. Well, at least they learned from, quote, professors at universities, which are, wow, what a scam that system is.
Yeah, isn't it crazy? I mean, we were talking, like, yesterday, Jeremy, he was talking about, he just saw the news clip. You know, a lot of what we do, there's not a ton of preparation to, so sometimes we won't listen to the clips before we play because we like to be surprised on what we do on the show. Yeah. And we were taken by surprise yesterday when he starts playing this clip from a professor named Stephanie at Harvard that's teaching a class on Taylor Swift. And I'm like, you think about just the words that are coming out of my mouth. It's Harvard. There's somebody teaching a class on Taylor Swift. And then Stephanie starts talking and Stephanie is not Stephanie. And I'm like, wait, hold on a second. So I'm rushing to the internet and I'm looking up this Stephanie person. And then it comes to obviously it was Steven at one time. And I'm like, what is going on in this world this is Harvard. This is the one that like everybody's like, ew, the esteemed Harvard. And it's like, what the hell?
Well, I'll tell you what the hell. The devil's the greatest deceiver in the world. When he can get you to go, one day I'll have humanity switching genitals because they won't know what their natural born biological meaning is in life. How do you think you pull this off, sire? Well, I'll drown them in the music where men will dress as women and women as men, and they'll never know. And then we'll send them pornography to disease their minds and every access of their media attention.
Wow, you got it all figured out.
When you can't figure out dressing like a fat prostitute comes to school waving his banana hammock in front of a 5-year-old. And if you're defending that, you have lost all morals of your inner core of life. We have lost and ignored the ultimate morals. We don't need a law to tell us what's right.
Like you said at the beginning of this, it's common sense. Right. At the beginning of this,
it's your basic instinct.
I feel like people just want to belong with a group of people, and I think that's a normal instinct, right? As humans, we want to be accepted, we want to belong, and sometimes we don't even rationally think about what we're thinking or saying or anything else, and we're going along with something. But it's at some point you have to, in the back of your mind, go, "This isn't correct." But it doesn't matter, because if I speak up, everybody's going to call me a hater or a Trumpster or something, and it's like, it's a weird time that we're living in right now.
You can call it whatever you want. You've reached the point of lunacy, and I'm not intimidated by your absolute lunacy and loss of all morality. It's gone. It's like talking to an anorexic, and you're going, "Sweetie, you're really skinny. You're really skinny." And she goes, "No, I'm a fatso," and she's weighed 80 pounds. Why you wouldn't encourage that? You try to help it.
Yeah.
It's a complete mentality that's an incredible brainwashing method. And hey, that's conspiracy.
Right. It's strange. I know you talk about it. And by the way, his podcast, it's so hard for me. The Bruniverse. It's so hard for me to not only say your name correctly, but also spell it correctly. I was just putting the post up on our Facebook page so people could go buy links or buy tickets for the show, the link tonight. And I'm like, Breuer, and I have to like toggle back and forth between screens because it's not as it sounds. And I've been a fan of yours for over 30 years. It's a thing.
Easy. I could have changed it to just Jimmy D or the B Man or Brew Man.
But anyways,
stick to my dopey name.
You talk about a lot of this stuff on your podcast. And did you ever think 30 plus years ago when you got into this business that you would be tackling on subjects that were, potentially trying to save the world?
No, not even a clue. But that should tell the world, when you got a Russell Brand, you got a Joe Rogan, you have all these powerful comedians. Comedians, all we do is observe life 24/7. And we try to stay, at least I do, emotionally detached, because I don't join the game. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a liberal. I'm not a conservative. I'm just a human being that can see through all the teams. They're all teams. They wear their sweatshirts and they rah for their team. Well, sometimes your team is not worth fighting for, and why would you subject yourself to something wrong, but it's part of the team? It's a bad mentality, but truth is what is going to prevail as time moves on. And it's going to be from people like you. It's going to be the everyday worker that does a little podcast. It's going to be the Rogans. It's going to be the Russell Brand. It's going to be anyone that puts out just truth. You figure it out, because when we're not being paid off, which is a big thing.
Yeah.
It comes from passion, heart, and instinct and honesty. And that is why the news is losing its entire society. Does anyone take the news seriously anymore? I don't.
Right.
I haven't watched it in years.
We've talked about it, and we have to watch it for our jobs, but we talk about it quite a bit. It's like I've never known It's like, okay, it's obvious they have their sponsorships, and in the deepest pockets are probably pharmaceuticals and the medical world, and it's like 6-7 minute pieces on mental health. And it's like, okay, we know where your bread is buttered. It's like, okay, you got to pound. I mean, they've got, I've considered myself to be a pretty sound body. And I'm not saying I don't have some kind of mental health, but I pretty much deal with it like probably my grandfather dealt with it. Oh, you just, move on and it'll fix itself. But they got me, there's so much cramming down your throat. I watch it. I'm like, man, maybe I got a mental health thing. I'm like, no, that's the problem right there. That is the problem.
What's scary about it?
The drug pushers on the street that get time for pushing those drugs They ain't got nothing on the professional drug pushers on TV. They ain't got nothing on them. They are a monstrosity.
Yep.
They bought up everybody, and I mean everybody. But I think the world is catching on, and you let me know next time you go to a doctor and he doesn't want to prescribe you.
Right, exactly. I've never been there. They're like, "Are you sure you don't have this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." It's like, "Well, let me check it out." I'm like, "Oh, hold on a second. I know what's going on here."
Yeah. Well, I can't really find anything, but I still think you should try these pills for 8 months, so I can meet my quota. My drug lord doesn't cut me off. Keep trusting us, okay? Thank you.
We're looking forward to the show tonight at the Fremont. There's a great farmers market that takes place right outside of the Fremont. It starts at 6. If you get a chance, there's going to be all kinds of good food out there and all kinds of fun weirdos, probably wearing masks.
Try some strawberries.
But the strawberries are pretty fantastic.
I like checking out local scenes before I go on.
Oh, this is insane! The timing of your stop here it couldn't be better. I mean,
great.
It's like one of the best in the nation. It's crazy.
Yeah, so,
I look forward to it. I thank you guys for having me on.
Hey,
keep on rocking out.
Thanks a lot. We appreciate it. We love your stuff.
Later, Gator. Bye.
All right. See you later. There goes Jim Breuer. Tonight, Survival with Laughter. It's at the Fremont, FremontSLO.com. Jeff put a link on our Facebook page if you want to grab tickets. When we come back, we're going to give away a pair. So we have that. If you want to go to the show, stick around. You can win a pair to see Jim tonight at the Fremont.
Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.